Well, this video is a long time coming. This is what's on my Android device for December of 2015. Finally. Hey guys, Michael here from Copper vs Glass, and as the intro said, this video has been a long time coming, but this is what's on my Android device for December of 2015. Now first off, I'm going to be doing this on a Samsung Galaxy Note 3, and I'm going to get my hands on the Nexus 6P very shortly, but in the meantime I found this Note 3 in mint condition for a very good price, so I picked it up for the meantime. Plus I've never used a Note device before, so things like the S Pen features and the actual size of the device are something a bit new to me. So first off then, in terms of the actual launcher that I'm using, and obviously standard, it's going to be Nova Launcher. Once going to the settings here, you can see that I do have Nova Launcher Pro, so again you've got all the information here for all the additional features like unread counts and certain additional features. Now one thing that I really like is the push for Marshmallow that they're trying to get across with Nova Launcher, so things like the app drawer. If I just head back into the app tray, you can see here that it looks very much like it does on Marshmallow, even with the side scroll bar here and also the search at the top. So again, if I want to search for YouTube, I can do, and then it's going to come up no problem at all. So Nova Launcher is my favourite launcher because I am obviously using TouchWiz on the Note 3, and as you can see there are still some features of TouchWiz that come in, however it's not really as obtrusive as what it used to be. So for instance, if I go into the settings panel has been sorted out quite nicely, and again it does look not too bad, and it is currently running Lollipop, so it's not the newest version of Android, but it's not necessarily the oldest either. Okay, so in terms of my home screen, as you can see, I keep it very minimal. I've got the Google search bar at the top, so again, if I want to get quick access to things to search, then I can do, or voice communication, then I can do, and again, it's got the hot word detection, which I'm not going to say on camera because I know it opens up Google now for a lot of people. Down on the bottom then, I've got my most used applications with a 2-row and then the dock. So again, you can see I've got AdSense, Apple Music, Camera, Drive, Phoenix, which is my Twitter client of choice, which we'll get into in just a second, Gmail, Google+, Google Maps, the Play Store, and also YouTube Studio, along with Chrome, Photos, WhatsApp, and YouTube down the bottom there. So going into my app drawer, you can see that I've actually got quite a lot of applications. Now the Note 3 that I've got here is a 32GB variant with a 32GB SD card as well, so I've actually got a total of 64GB to play around with, and that's the most amount that I've had on a device. So I'm putting a lot of applications on here, as you can see, and a lot of games on here, which is something that I normally don't do. So first off then, I've got my most used apps on the top because it now does that in the app drawer once you use Nova Launcher, and also if you use the Google Experience Launcher or the Google Now Launcher, you will also get this same vertical scrolling within the actual app tray. So again, you can see that I've got AdSense, which is what I use to keep track of all the monetary value coming in from YouTube. I've then got All4 because All4 has just enabled Google Chromecast features, so again, if I want to catch up on a bunch of Channel 4 programs, then I can do, and I can cast it all to the TV, which is something that you couldn't do in the past. Obviously you can cast your tabs from Chrome to a Chromecast, however beforehand if you've done that with Channel 4, it would sometimes come out of an error allowing you not to do that. I've then got pretty much the gaming staple of any device, and that is Angry Birds 2, and I haven't really played it all that much, but again with the gigantic screen of the Note 3, I thought I'd give games a bit more of a go on here because I'm not necessarily a fan of using touchscreen. However, with something like the Note 3 with a giant screen, it's not really that much of a problem. I've then got Apple Music, which is slowly becoming my favourite streaming service of choice. Now I did have my iPhone 6 for quite a long time, and I was using Apple Music on it all of the time from pretty much when it launched here in the UK. Now my 3-month trial is pretty much up now, so I'm going to be doing a future video just going over if I will or won't keep Apple Music on my device, and at the moment it's kind of 50-50. I really like the integration with the actual Android system itself, but with something like Spotify you do get a better listening experience if you're doing it through Chromecast for instance. The only way to get Apple Music onto the Chromecast is to mirror your device, which isn't necessarily great because if you are then playing some music and then you hit the home button, everyone's going to see exactly what you're doing, whereas something like Spotify has a dedicated player which does it through the Chromecast, and it just looks a lot nicer. Next up then, we've got a bunch more games, BBC iPlayer and BBC News. BBC News is probably where I get all of my news information, as it keeps me really up to date, and it also gives me some notifications for breaking news stories as well. And again, I've got iPlayer on here just for the purpose of the Chromecast feature. Again, it can do it through the browser, however I find it a lot easier to just do it on my device and control it through my device than I do with using the actual Chrome browser itself. I've then got Calculator, Calendar, Camera and Chrome, which are all pretty much standard, and then I've got the Chromecast application application, which is what I use to actually control my Chromecast in terms of adding custom wallpapers and things, and also having a guest mode so that if anyone wants to come around and use the Chromecast to show off pictures with Google Photos or show off some videos with YouTube, then they can do. I've then got Cliffy Jump, which is an awesome game. Now in this video, guys, I'm not really going to go into the gaming side of things too much because I am going to be doing a separate video completely, which is going to be gaming on my Note 3. So again, be sure to leave a thumbs up down below if that's something that you want to see. I've then got the Clock and Contacts, which again are pretty much standard. Some more games here. Crossy Road is one of my favourites, and Dead Trigger 2 is probably my favourite FPS on mobile, just because of the fact that it has manual shooting. You don't really need to worry about it all that much. I've then got Google Drive for all of my files and things to keep track of everything. I pretty much save all of my YouTube videos into Google Drive once they've been uploaded, so again I've got a history of those videos if I need them. I've then got Facebook, and in the past I've mentioned that I'm not a huge fan of Facebook. The only reason really why I've got it is to keep track of family events, because everything gets planned through Facebook these days, so again that is there if I need it. I've then got Facets, which is an awesome wallpaper application, and this is where I get a lot of my wallpapers. Now I do have a separate Google Drive folder, which I'm going to link in the description down below, to some of my other wallpapers that I use, so again if you want to get access to those, they'll be in the description down below. But the Facets application has been updated with the new Helmetica wallpapers as well, so you've got some awesome wallpapers in here, including, for instance, here we've got Optimus Prime, which looks really nice. We've then got Skeletor, Iron Man, which also looks really cool. Now you can swipe up to actually set it as your wallpaper, or swipe down to save the image, and I always save it and then set it as my wallpaper because the quality of the image is slightly better than what you get if you set it from within the actual application. I've then got Phoenix, which is my Twitter client of choice, and I really like Phoenix for its material design, the easy way to switch between profiles with Copper vs Glass and my main profile, and again these usernames here, you can follow them and I'll have them linked in the description down below. And just in general, it's a really nice application that works extremely well. It's very fluid, and obviously a lot of people complain about scrolling on Android. However, I don't really have that many issues here on the Note 3. I'm not sure whether that's because it's running Lollipop or whether there's been some major updates to Android, but scrolling around the OS, whether it's in Chrome, Twitter, Facebook or anything like that, works perfectly fine in my opinion. Next up then we've got Google Fit, and again I use that to keep track of all my steps and calories. I've then got the Gallery application, which I don't really use all that much. I mainly use Google Photos, but for things like screenshots and things that I don't want to have backed up, I just use the Gallery to get access to those quickly if I need them. Again, I've then got a bunch more Google applications, so Gmail, the Google Now application or the Google application for search, Google Plus and also Hangouts. Now Google Plus I use quite a lot as my social media, just in general to upload screenshots of what I'm going to be doing and some, in the background footage of Copper vs Glass as well. So again, if you want to follow me on Google Plus, I will have that linked in the description down below. I've then got Star Wars Heroes, which is an awesome game, and again I'll be doing a future video on that, along with Horizon Chase, which is a really retro but also quite modern racing game. I've then got Instagram, which is probably my main social network, and I use this quite a lot for a load of different photos that aren't always necessarily tech related. There may just be some photos of out and about where I am, so again if you want to follow me, all of my social links are down in the description down below. After that I've then got Google Keep, which is how I keep track of a lot of notes and things and just simple lists that I need to remember. I've then got Leo's Fortune, Maps, and I really do like the Google Maps application now with all the new updates and the Explore features. They're really nice. I've then got Messenger, again to keep track of family events. Modern Combat 5 and Monument Valley, again some awesome games which will be coming in a future video. NatWest to keep with all of my banking information, so again to keep track of my money and things like that. Need for Speed No Limits, which is an awesome game, and I actually done a Let's Play on Need for Speed, so I will have that linked in the description down below. It's an awesome game, but there are some paywall errors that I'm not necessarily a huge fan of. I've then got Phone and Photos, which is, pretty much standard, and then all of the Google Play applications. So I've got Play Books, Games, Movies and TVs, Play Music, which I don't really use all that much as I'm now using Apple Music, Play Newsstand and also the Play Store. Next to that then, I've got Pocket Cast, which is where I got all of my podcast information from. It's just a really simple interface and it looks extremely nice. So watching podcasts and playing them back and automatically have them download in the background is really simple and really easy to use. Now guys, just to keep you aware, I am going to have all of the links in the description to any application that doesn't come stock on an Android device. So things like Pocket Cast, all the games and things, I will have them in the description down below. Braman Adventures is an awesome new platforming game, and again that's going to be coming in a future feature video along with Reckless Racing 3 and all the other games here. I've then got SCR 5 Plus Pro, which is what I'm using to actually record the screen of my Android device. Now it's not available in the Play Store anymore because for whatever reason Google took it down, but you can get it and I'll have it linked in the description down below. Screener is an awesome application where you can basically just make up a mock-up of your device to actually post on social networks and things, and I use that a lot if I change anything on my device for my home screen, or I'm using a different icon pack or widgets that people may want to be a fan of. I use Screener to take a screenshot of the actual screen, apply it to a frame, and then upload it to Google Plus with all the links to everything on there. So again, if you want to get all of the information for icon packs and widgets and wallpapers that I'm using, Google Plus is probably the best place to go. Next up then we've got settings, which is pretty standard. Shazam, which I find really useful to get all the information for music for tracks that I'm not necessarily aware of. Again, I've then got a bunch more games. I've got speed test as well. Now speed test I use on quite a regular basis and I'm not too sure why. Now I really like to find out the internet speeds of certain places where I am, whether that's on 3G, 4G or Wi-Fi. It's just something fun that I've kind of become a little bit addicted to, just kind of knowing what speeds I'm going to be getting in a certain area. So as you can see here, the download where I'm currently at the moment in my flat is around 37 megabits down, and the upload speed is what I'm actually quite impressed with here because it hovers around 10 or 9 depending on the time of day. So uploading videos, pictures and things like that to you guys is very simple to do, and it does it super quick. Next up then we've got Street View, which is a great application to find more information about where you want to be going. So again, if you want to get some in-depth views of a street or a place, then Street View is the best way to go. I've got the YouTube Creator Studio application as well to keep track of all the YouTube stats like views, subscriptions, minutes watched, etc. So again, that's a really great way to reply to comments as well, as you don't always want to use on the desktop. I've then got Threes, which is an awesome game if you want to just kill some time, along with True Skate and Two Dots. I've also got VR Cinema, which basically turns any video into VR to use with Google Cardboard. Now this is quite cool, but they have actually now incorporated that into YouTube. So certain videos in YouTube, you can just go into the settings and click on the VR function, and it will make it into a VR video for you straight away. So VR Cinema isn't really needed all that much. I've then got Yahoo Weather, which is my weather client of choice, and I really enjoy the look and feel of this application. It runs extremely well, and you can also add multiple places. So if I want to see what the weather is like in New York, then I can do, or where I currently am, then I can do as well. And you can click on the plus button at the top here to get somewhere else. So if I want to find out, for instance, San Francisco, then I can search it, find it, and then it's going to show me all the weather information for San Francisco. So again, it's a really nice application that works extremely well, and it just in general works nice. They have incorporated some ads in it more recently, which I'm not necessarily a fan of, but it still works extremely well, and it is also free. Next up then is WhatsApp, and that's pretty much how I contact everybody, whether it's group chats or speaking with someone individually. I find WhatsApp is the best way to do that. I've then got YouTube, which is a standard basically on any Android device in my opinion, or any device whether it's iOS, Android or Windows, to have YouTube on here to get access to all of my subscriptions and all of the videos that I want to be watching. Again, it's really simple and really easy to do. And again, if you want to get some access to some great videos, then be sure to subscribe to Copper vs Glass for more videos. As you can see, I have been doing quite a lot of iOS videos lately, however that is now going to be stopping and I'm going back to more Android videos. So that's pretty much all I've got then on my Android device. Like I say, I'm running Nova Launcher on top of Android 5.0 with TouchWiz on the Samsung Galaxy Note 3, and it's a really nice experience. I've also got the S Pen features which I'm playing around with, and I'm actually going to be doing a Note 3 revisited video. So again, if you want to see how the Note 3 has aged over time, be sure to hit that subscribe button to get that straight into your inbox. And now we've come to the end. This video was a bit longer than I wanted it to be, however I haven't done a What's on my Android for quite some time, so it's nice to catch up. If you guys enjoyed this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up down below, and also give it a thumbs up for way more Android videos coming very shortly on the channel, including icon packs, launchers, plus tons more. If you've got any questions about any of the applications that we've looked at today, then leave them in the comments section down below or on Twitter at Copper vs Glass. Thanks very much for watching, and don't forget to subscribe for some more great content, and I will catch you guys in the next video.